Hello, my friends. It's your old pal PeaceLoveMusic, and we're here with a special episode of DeOrganized, brought to you in partnership with Bitcoin Live. Friend of our community, Phoenix Green, is coming on. He's graciously agreed to come on and talk to us all about the Decred platform and the Bison wallets. Welcome, Phoenix. How are you today, sir?
Okay. Thanks for having me on first, and I'm really loving what you're doing. Your energy is absolutely amazing. I love the positivity around the products that you're building, and yeah, I mean, I can't say enough praise. It's really nice to see. It's really nice to see such positivity and you guys building stuff. That's great.
Thank you, man. It really, I'm having a great time. I love what we're building in this space. We have a great community here in the decentralized world, right? Most people know I'm a big stacks guy. I'm a big Bitcoin guy. I love a lot of the meta protocol stuff, but I also have some Avalanche and I also have some Cosmos chain stuff and Digibit. I know there's a lot of you guys in the Digibit community over there. There's a lot going on, and so and I'm not a maxi on any idea, right? We should be sharing as many ideas and collaborating on as much stuff as we can. So happy to thank you so much for joining us today and helping us connect our communities to different projects and what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I say, I'm mainly into Decred, but I do hold stacks. I had the airdrop from blockchain wallet a few years back, and I've still got them sat there somewhere. And I'm also a Bitcoin holder, of course. But Decred is kind of where my heart is, and I think some of the stuff that they're building, and hopefully we'll get to show you some stuff in a second. But it really does follow this ethos of this more of a peer-to-peer ethos. So decentralization is obviously such a big thing to us, but we're also really interested in the peer-to-peer ethos, the idea of just removing those middlemen, stop the rent seekers, and build a culture where you and I can transact with each other. You and I can kind of just say, hey, I want to buy this off you, or you want to buy this off me, and no one gets in the middle of that. And it really is quite fantastic tech. And I mean, just to give you a bit of an overview of Decred, it's very similar to Bitcoin. It has its origins rooted in a thing called BTC Suite, which is a full node daemon built in Go that was originally built for Bitcoin as an alternative node to Bitcoin Core. It's still being used today by the Lightning Lab tech, for Lightning Network and things like that. So yeah, that's where it's rooted. But the idea with Decred is we wanted to go down a route of governance. So we want to say, hey, we want a treasury, so we don't have to deal with VC funding. We can fund ourselves. We want to be able to have voting. So whenever there's a consensus upgrade, we can just say, hey, do the coin holders want this consensus upgrade or not? And we get to vote on that as coin holders. It's obviously a 21 million cap supply, and it's been around almost 9 years now, eight and a half years or something like that. And like I said, that the whole ethos is trying to get this peer-to-peer aspect of things going forward. And one of the big projects for the last probably 6, maybe 7 years is this idea of an atomic swap, where we can build an exchange and I can swap with anyone without having a centralized exchange or an intermediary involved in that. And I'm really keen to show you that. But we've also got a few other projects, but that's the one. That's the latest one.
So it's built on a Bitcoin node, the Decred platform, where it started out.
The company that built it's called Company Zero, and their first bit of tech was called BTC Suite, which is basically a full node daemon for Bitcoin built in Golang, rather than C++. Yeah, so that was the roots. It's actually a fascinating story. I mean, I'm probably not the best person to give you that story, but that's where it comes from. And then the idea is the actual original team had a bit of a falling out with the Bitcoin Core group, so they literally went their own way, and they wanted to build a platform that included a layer 1 governance and a DAO structure.
Very cool. So you have a platform treasury and a platform and a voting governance layer, or it's built into the layer as well.
Yeah, it's all layer 1. Yeah.
So how is it voting based on holding Decred?
You've got The system is it's a ticket based system. So if you hold, at the moment it's something like 230 Decred. If you hold that many, you can actually buy a ticket. There's a maximum supply of tickets of just short of 41,000 tickets. So if you hold a ticket, you get to vote on things like proposals, treasury spends, and consensus upgrades.
Okay, so is there how many? One of the challenges I've found for DAOs in general is participation. So how do you find that you're getting a lot of participation? What are some ways that you've engaged your community to engage in the voting process?
Participation has to be, depending on what you're voting on, it has to be roughly 60 to 75%. So if it's a consensus upgrade, it has to be, let me get this right. Yes, 75% of the coin of the tickets have to actually vote. If they vote yes or no, it reaches a quorum. If it doesn't reach that quorum, then it just doesn't get anything. It doesn't pass. It doesn't fail. It just kind of gets removed.
Okay.
So yeah, in terms of the treasury vote, which when we want to spend money on something like Bison wallet, every month there's a treasury spend. It's completely decentralized. So the tickets will vote, and I think that's something like 25% participation. So just say, look, this spend is accurate and correct. So yeah, generally the mechanisms work very, very well. If anyone's interested in that, we do have a blockchain explorer which shows you all the kind of the last treasury votes. It shows you all the consensus upgrades, and pretty much anything to do with the treasury. It's there.
Nice. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Gifter for Columbus says hello.
He's also a contractor for Decred.
I was going to say he must be one of your friends because I love the name and I would definitely remember it, but I'm not familiar. But well, good morning, sir. Hello.
Gift for Columbus also goes by the name of Tall Americano, who writes for Cypherpunk Times, which was a Decred initiative as well.
What was the publication called?
Cypherpunktimes.com.
Very nice. Cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
Very interesting stuff, man. So you've got a voting mechanism. You feel like you got decent participation in that. What's the improvement like proposal process like? Do you have is there a group of core devs that are working on the project, or is it very community oriented? Is there a lot of like people just how does someone propose an improvement proposal?
Well, as it currently stands, we've got a lot of development happening actually. So we've got a team for Bison wallet. We've got Company Zero, which generally focus in on the core software. We've also got Crypto Power Wallet, which is another area of development. So there's a whole bunch of development happening in various teams building it. So if you wanted to say, hey, I want to change the consensus, what tends to happen is people go to a platform called proposals.decred.org and they submit a proposal. And if that proposal it will go up for discussion and people say, yeah, this is a good idea, or this probably doesn't work. And then that will go for the vote. And all that does is it says, hey, the community wants this or it doesn't want this. After that point, that gives them permission to go and build those implementations or build the implementation that's going to upgrade the consensus. From there, we have a hybrid system, a hybrid proof of work, proof of stake. So what happens is these upgrades get put into the software in a off mode, if you like, and then people then have to vote on whether to initiate them, whether to implement them, and then that goes through in that particular way. So it's a twofold process really, and the consensus upgrade actually has to go through a full cycle of votes, so 41,000 votes.
Very cool. So Decred runs on a proof of work, proof of stake hybrid mechanism. I'm assuming the proof of work is mining.
It is. So, I mean, this is one instance where the governance system came in. So about 2 years ago, Decred had an issue with malicious miners. So we were an ASIC chain. We mined on Blake 256. And we had these malicious miners that were basically dumping coins onto the network, really kind of not allowing for price recognition to happen. So using the process that we had, the coin holders basically said, hey, would you be interested in reducing the miner reward? So it was 60% miners, 30% to stakeholders, and 10% to the treasury. So this whole went through. It took about 4 months to go through all the stages and actually get the mining, get the proposal passed. And then that's what happened then. So we had a consensus upgrade where they reduced the miner reward. That still wasn't enough. So then we had another one about a year later to do two things this time. This time was to change the mining algorithm from Blake 256 to Blake 3, and also reduce the miner's reward down to 1%. Now, in the hybrid situation, the actual proof of stake gives a lot of security. So we didn't suffer as much as a pure proof of work chain would have. So if that had been a pure proof of work chain, the security would have dropped drastically. But because at this point, we're at 16 million coins have been mined out of 21 million, of which 10 million of those coins are now staked. So in terms of the security on the network, it's almost impossible to attack the network in terms of a 51%, because there's so many. The bulk of the supply is actually staked. So it's quite interesting how that worked as well.
So you reduce the supply twice.
The reward, not the supply.
I'm sorry. I'm speaking wrong because I'm trying to share out the podcast at the same time. You reduced the reward twice because you were having some malicious activity of them out of the miners, and then after that added the staking piece to it, or it was already a hybrid system?
No, it's been a hybrid since day one. So when we moved from a BTC suite, the actual improvements were made to make it into a hybrid system. So from day one, we've been this hybrid system. But on day one, 60% of the mining reward went to miners, 30% went to ticket holders, stakeholders, and then 10% went to the treasury. And as it currently stands, 1% of the reward goes to miners, 89% goes to the stakeholders, and 10% still goes to the treasury, of which in the treasury, as it currently stands, we're at 890,000 DCR in the treasury, which is about 10 million US dollars.
Wow, that's a significant treasury for a decentralized project. What does that budget typically go towards? What are the type of costs you guys experience running the project?
Well, the last one, I think last month we had a payout which went out about 2 days ago. Actually, it was about $40,000, and that literally goes to all the different proposals. So if on proposals.decred.org, you can actually see all of the active proposals. So we've got one for video production. This is what I'm doing right now. We've got one for what's called a Vanguard project, where we get people involved in social media and kind of promoting Decred. We've got one for the crypto power wallet, so to make sure that we can build out a really nice mobile infrastructure for wallets. I think I said Bison wallet. We've also got one which is quite interesting. We built another platform called Bison Relay, which is on the Lightning Network. It's a communications platform, and one of the devs is building out a gaming aspect to it. So he wants to do peer-to-peer gambling. So at the moment, he's got it on a 1-to-1, so you can actually do rock, paper, scissors. So you and I can bet on the outcome of rock, paper, scissors. But the idea is that we're going to
peer-to-peer. So I could be like, here we American football. You sound like you might be more interested in soccer football, but we have our team, and I could say, hey, I think my team's gonna beat your team this week, and I could actually set up a wager right in
I mean, if there was an oracle on the outcome, you could definitely do that. But this is more like, you and I have a game of rock paper scissors online. You draw scissors, I draw paper, and then the smart contract basically says, hey, PeaceLoveMusic won that, and then pays you out.
How fast are your transactions right now on chain? How fast does that go?
Well, on chain, we are
okay. Yeah,
explain that. Yeah, on chain we're 5-minute blocks, 400 kilobytes. So we're about 7 transactions per second. Our Lightning network, of course, is capable of much more than that. So what we've done is we've kind of said, look, we want our base layer 1 to do all the governance stuff. We want it to do the big transactions. But in actual fact, if you're going to buy a cup of coffee, if you're going to do NFTs, if you're going to do tokens, it really does need to be done on a layer 2. Doing it on layer 1 is going to cause a whole bunch of issues. One of them being bloating, blockchain bloat. And the whole idea with Decred is this theory that we want it to be peer-to-peer. Now, the minute you bloat a blockchain on layer 1, that peer-to-peer aspect disappears, because in order to run a full node, you're no longer able to do that. You have to kind of put it into some kind of centralized server. Or you have to have, to run 100,000 transactions per second. On my last estimation, it was something like 1.5 terabytes per day. So obviously that, if you're going to do that, you're not, you remove all the aspects of peer-to-peer. So as it currently stands, we are moving down this idea of putting the bulk of our transactions, the bulk of our extra activities on the Lightning Network. And that's the kind of way we've gone about it.
Very cool. So the proof of stake function is the fast transaction layer. Is that correct?
No, we don't have master nodes or anything like that. So our layer 1 is very much like Bitcoin. So it literally does confirmations on chain. The blocks are 5-minute blocks, 400 kilobytes. And then to do all the fast transactions, it's the Lightning Network. So the Lightning Network, on Bison Relay, you'll create a channel, an outbound channel and an inbound channel, and then you'll connect with somebody on the communications network, and I can send you a tip, say, I don't know, 1,000 Satoshis, and it will cost me one Satoshi to send that tip, and it will settle instantly. Now, the thing with the Lightning Network, the minute you close those channels, all of those transactions, because it's on a state basis, all of them close down to one transaction. So if you and I, kept sending tips backwards and forwards to each other, into the hundreds of thousands, no matter what happens, when they settle back on chain, they settle back as one transaction, which is obviously amazing in terms of keeping down blockchain bloat.
Sounds like it was a very well thought out design. It sounds like you have the capacity to scale pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, the Lightning Network's on Bitcoin as well, isn't it? So, and I think it's also available on Litecoin. I would say that our Lightning Network is slightly different. It does have, because of our consensus mechanisms, it does have 100% support. So we don't have a lot of the issues that Bitcoin has. And we've also got 100% support for our SPV nodes, which is the simple payment verification. So it basically means we can spin up on mobile devices a verifying wallet without having to RPC it to somebody else very, very quickly. I mean, our SPV, it loads in it fully syncs with the blockchain in about 7 minutes. And that's how we're kind of housing the Lightning Network. So you can literally have a lightweight node that's completely verifying all the transactions, and then you've got the Lightning Network that can actually sync in with that and the LND software.
So are there other tokens on the network, like in the ecosystem? Are there other projects with their own tokens, or that produce their own tokens?
We haven't gone down that route. At the moment, if we want to build something out, so say for instance, we've got a communications platform, Bison Relay. Rather than inserting another token, we basically say, look, let's use Decred. So on the Lightning Network, you can literally you create a channel, and then you use what's in that channel to actually communicate. So like I said before, it's roughly to send a message to you and I, it will cost one atom for up to 1 kilobyte of data. So which is absolutely awesome, really, when you think about it. So at the moment, there's been no need to kind of put any extra tokens on, and that's one of the reasons we've built out Bison Wallet, is because interoperability is crazy important. So if you want to communicate with the Stacks platform, or you want to communicate with the or swap your tokens between Stacks, and you want to buy an NFT off Stacks or Bitcoin or Litecoin, this really can be done in a peer-to-peer atomic swap fashion. So the idea is, if people are already building great tech like yourselves, why bother trying to mimic that when you can have interoperability? I can just say, hey, look, I've got this peer-to-peer exchange. It doesn't cost me anything. And this is one of the things we'll get into in a moment. But there's no middlemen. There's no rent seekers. So there's no token sat in the middle. It's literally you and I swap. So if you want to swap one stack with me, and I want to swap one Decred with you, the only fees that you would pay are the on-chain fees. That's it. There's none of this middleman stuff, and that's how we're kind of getting around that. So we're not feeling it necessary to build USDC on Decred, because it already exists on Polygon, and everyone's using that. So why bother? We might as well just tap into that liquidity, and that's basically what we've done.
So I can use my USDC on Bison Wallet.
Yeah. Shall I show you?
Yes.
Bring it up on the screen. I'll show you, because at the moment it probably sounds too good to be true. And this is the thing that we're facing. This is Bison Wallet. This is our peer-to-peer exchange. It is decentralized, but one thing I would say is at the moment, the servers that run this are independent. So anyone can spin up a server at the moment, but they are independent. Now we've just finished a proposal for what's called the Tatanka network, which allows all of the servers that are running Bison Wallet to interconnect with each other. So if, say, for instance, the Stacks spun up some pairs, they would be interconnected with everyone else, and that should be hopefully within the next year. So that will make it fully decentralized as well as peer-to-peer, which is absolutely awesome. But you asked about USDC. So if you look over here, can you see that? You might want to move your QR code out of the way. But up here in the top, there is USDT to Decred. And these are all the orders on page. Now, if I want to just swap $1, I can just say, right, let's buy some USD. Let's buy some Decred. Let's sell some Decred. So I can say, right, I want to take this order here, and I say, look, I just want $1, which is approximately 0.1 Decred. That's about $1.20. The spread's a bit crazy at the minute. We're trying to. One of the things that we do face is trying to get this spread below 1%, but that will come. So as soon as I'm happy with that, I just say, look, let's just place the order. It says, okay, are you happy with that order? Yeah, absolutely. And then in a moment, you'll see a dotted line pop up, and then it will complete the trade. Now, like I said, the interesting thing about this is using SPV wallets. So everything is being. Oh, it moved right at the last minute. Look, you can see my order there. That little diamond is my order. So let me put another one on. It'll probably go, but let me just put another one on.
So explain to me SPV wallet.
So simplified payment verification is basically a way of not having to run a full node, but still being able to verify your own transactions. And it really is quite, I mean, the technology is quite interesting. I think I messed that up again, or did it settle? Hold on. Yeah, there you go. So it's settling. So now you can see what's happening now is the on-chain stuff, where it's literally saying, okay, this person's going to put part of their contract in, and then once they've finished their confirmations, then my confirmations will start, and then all in one go, the coins will be redeemed, and it's all done without any. It's called an atomic swap. It's all done without any centralized middlemen. But in terms of the SPV stuff, So all of these are lightweight wallets. So rather than downloading 10 gigabyte of data from the Decred chain and 200 gigabytes from the blockchain, from the Bitcoin blockchain, literally the SPV wallet will condense the whole blockchain and allow you to verify everything. It's about 200 megabytes. It might be slightly more on the Bitcoin chain. It might be almost a gig on the Bitcoin chain, but it allows it to do really, really quickly. So to fully sync a Decred full node, it takes approximately an hour and a half. To fully sync an SPV wallet, it takes approximately 7 minutes. And to compare that with Bitcoin, to do a full node on Bitcoin takes about, I don't know, depending on your system, about 4 days. So between 2 and 4 days. And then to do an SPV, it takes about 30 minutes. And that just allows you to connect to the network, connect to each of the networks without having to have a middleman kind of say, okay, send me that request for that transaction. You're doing the verification yourself.
So what was the fee you realized on that swap?
Hold on, this one will still do. I think I might have messed it up actually. Oh, here it is. It's down here. So here we go. Yeah. So it's still finishing. That's not the one either. Sorry about this. It was that top one, and it looked like it was still settling. So we've probably still got a couple minutes.
Not a problem. We have time. This is it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, this is the Polygon chain. So the Polygon chain needs 64 confirmations, and then the Decred chain I think needs 2. So it will, because it's not atomic swap and because it's happening on chain, it does take a little bit of time to complete, between 10 minutes and 20 minutes really.
But you're not bridging, you're holding. So if I have, because USDC is on a bunch of different chains now, a ton of them, it's not just Polygon. Somebody might want it on Cosmos, or somebody might want it on Solana or whatever. Does it matter for your platform? How does that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. There is no way of saying on an atomic swap platform, there at the moment at least, there isn't a way of saying, hey, look, here's USDC and I can send it to all of these different chains. So at the moment we've chosen the one that is most prominent. So as you know, Coinbase kind of uses Polygon at the moment for pretty much all of their USDC. So right. That's the one we've chosen. There's no reason we couldn't have Solana. There's no reason we couldn't have all of the others. But the only difficulty there is it does separate liquidity, which is a bit of a pain.
I wonder if there's a way for you to aggregate it in, though. It might make sense for, you don't need to do a version of every token, but the stables might make sense.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you're looking at here is a transfer between USDC and USDT on Polygon. So I've literally just placed an order then just so you can see it. And it really does, it finishes really quickly on the Polygon chain, but there's no reason you couldn't have Solana and all the rest of it. And at the moment, there isn't a good way of actually saying, let's combine these market books, which would be really cool, actually, like you say, to aggregate all of them. Be really cool.
Yeah, I don't mean to be
no, you carry on.
I am super non-technical. So I have the advantage there is I have no idea what's really not possible. So I think of some crazy ideas. I'll throw out something that, a lot of times I'll get a look like, peace, love, you're so cute. I suggest things, but that also kind of helps in the idea phase, right? And it helps you kind of come to the conclusion as to, I hadn't even thought about doing it that way.
I mean, the main thing you're looking at here is custodialship. Is you could definitely do what you're saying. You could definitely say, look, I'm going to pull all of the different chains into, and I'm just going to call it USDC. Pretty much what Coinbase does. And you could definitely do that, but they're so effective at it because they can custodial all of that coin. Whereas
Right,
what you're doing
right.
here,
They're a
yeah,
centralized exchange. It's
yeah.
not the
But
same
what
thing.
Yeah, but what you're doing here is these are your wallets. It's not, these wallets aren't controlled by me. These are, well, these ones are because they're mine. But when you open Bison wallet, they are your wallets, and you are trading with other people's wallets. You're not, it's not passing through an aggregator. Like on Thorchain, for instance, they could probably do it using their liquidity pools, because they've got this centralized aspect of it where the money can actually pass through that. But the idea here is that everything has to be peer to peer, pretty much like the original vision of Bitcoin. Really, you and I transferring money towards each other. And the minute you start saying, well, you've got all these different platforms, and let's pull all that together. You do have to enter some kind of area of someone's got to kind of manage that, and it stops being a wallet. So,
Right.
I mean, those are the real compromises, and the area that we've taken is to say very much we want this to be peer to peer. It has to be decentralized, obviously, but ultimately this is a wallet to wallet transfer. The compromises are obvious. The compromises are very obvious, and down to the point where we have to decide what pairs to list, what's going to give us the most liquidity in USDC, and that's why we've chosen Polygon, is because obviously it's very much recognized now that Coinbase, that's the one that they're predominantly holding with or using. And I suspect in a few months' time or a few years' time that will change to Base, and then we'll obviously, well, Base is already in the works, as is Solana actually.
Yeah, well, and it makes, yes, obviously Coinbase is going to favor Base, which is reflected in the price action on Polygon right now. But it's also, there's Solana you definitely want to pick up too. It's unarguable that there's a lot of stuff going on there. I know it's not necessarily the platform of choice for a lot of the people. I don't want to say this and insult the Solana guys, but I feel like it's people with a little bit more that hold on to the ethos of Bitcoin a little bit more strongly. Solana doesn't quite match that to a lot of degrees. You're kind of taking the opposite approach, but you also want to serve the people, the users, the needs of the users. So I don't love Solana, but I use it because people I engage with are using it, and it's cheap and easy. It works, but well, when it works, when it's not shut down and when it's not,
I mean, it's no different than Polygon. I mean, Polygon isn't a peer-to-peer chain by any means. We are, in order to make Polygon work, we are having to put up one of their providers. So the Polygon wallet actually isn't a SPV wallet. The only, it's actually you're using a provider, so that is a compromise. But the compromise is that everyone wants USDC and everyone wants USDT at the moment. So I think pretty much everyone knows that. But you're completely right. And I don't know if you could have seen that just a minute ago, but the actual Polygon chain at the minute is giving me a bit of hassle with my trade, which is a bit interesting. But yeah, but both of them are quite heavy platforms, Solana and Polygon. So they're not aiming to be peer to peer. They're aiming to serve the masses. It's basically what they're trying to do, which is absolutely fine. And certainly people are finding that this is a nice way to get into crypto. So and spend some of that.
So does Bison Wallet have any fiat on ramp right now?
Well, that is the fiat on ramp. That's US. So say for instance, you go on to Coinbase and you say, okay, I've got US dollars. Well, the minute you transfer US dollars onto Coinbase, it becomes USDC now. I don't know if you use Coinbase anymore, but it becomes USDC straight.
It doesn't have to become USDC. It can actually be US dollars, but then it's just a hash. It depends. There's buttons yes, I do use it, but it's but yes, they're considered the same thing, and you're better off holding it in USDC because you're earning interest on there. But that's your on ramp.
The point I was trying to make is that actually they make it free for you guys, don't they? So they say, look, when you deposit US dollar, they make it free for you to have USDC now. And that's what I
Yes.
was trying to get at, which, it's actually, when you think about it, when you're trying to get to crypto, you can literally go US dollar, USDC, and then you can move it to your wallet, Bison wallet, if you want, or whatever wallet you want to put it on. And they even make the transfer free as well now, I believe. So,
Yes, right now it is. Yeah, right now. For most chains, some chains it's not, but for Polygon, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. For Polygon, it is. So there's our on and off ramp, especially for American users, is so that you can get your USDC, your US dollar to USDC onto Bison wallet completely free now. And when you want to change from USDC to something else, on Polygon, it currently costs to change from USDC to USDT. It currently costs. It's not even a cent. It's like a fraction of a cent. It's like the smallest particle of a cent. So you can literally move all the way through for less than a cent, which is absolutely amazing, really. Yeah. So those are our on ramps. That's what we're currently looking towards.
We live in very interesting times. There's so many tools at our disposal as you launching rockets out of the air, man. Like, it's insane where we are right now. The AI tools that are still just in their infancy, and I think blockchain is going to be an integral part of the audit process for that, and keeping everything, because they hallucinate a lot apparently. So we need to make sure we know what they're thinking. But yeah, this kind of stuff like peer to peer, I can send you $100 and it's going to cost a penny. That's pretty impressive. So what is, I'm definitely going to get a Decred wallet. I'm definitely going to fund it, and I'm going to play around with it a little bit. I now that I've had this tutorial, it's a little bit, now I have a fundamental understanding about the project and everything, and I have to read less about it. I'm definitely going to play around with it. But it's basically primarily peer-to-peer swaps. Like, there's an exchange, obviously, but is it a market maker exchange? Does it, like, sometimes I would imagine if I set prices, it's going to take a little while. I can set my prices higher and lower, but I can do like orders, like an order book kind of thing.
Well, we do have a market maker. One thing I should note is, because it is peer-to-peer, if you are running a market maker, or if you're waiting for orders to kind of match, you do need to make sure the wallet is online. Because it's peer-to-peer, you're literally connecting to the network, and that's something a lot of people find very, very difficult to kind of deal with, because obviously Coinbase, you set up your orders in Coinbase, and you can close it and walk away. But because you're creating the market, because you are literally the peer, it does have to be online. Now, it doesn't actually take a lot to run it full time, but you just need to make sure it is online. So if you've got a laptop, you kind of need to set it to, when you close the lid, you just need to set it so that it doesn't turn off if you've got orders running. And that can be quite difficult for some people to understand, but that's the mission here, is we are trying to create something that's peer-to-peer. And
makes sense, because it's on a Lightning node and it closes out the communication.
No, it's not Lightning. It's on chain. Everything's on chain.
So, but it's, if I'm offline, my wallet doesn't keep the order.
Well, what happened? Yeah. So what happens is you've got a few processes. So for instance, you put an order on and somebody takes it. The first take is actually has to confirm that on chain. Now, if your wallet isn't on chain when that communication comes, if your wallet isn't online when that first confirmation comes through, it won't be able to transact that. So that's actually a thing of on chain stuff. So you have to be online so that you can actually process each communication. So you've got two communications. So you've got firstly it takes, so you wait for the confirmation, and then the other side, they get their confirmation, and so the first part of the contract settles, and then the redemption just needs one more communication, and then it will finalize. And during those block confirmations, you do need to be on your wallet needs to be online.
Very cool. Very cool. And so what tokens you support? Litecoin, Bitcoin, Decred, USDC on Polygon, also USDT. Is that also just Polygon for now? Probably going to
Just
be
Polygon for now, yeah. So we've got
yeah, what
full
else?
node. We've got full node wallets. So these aren't as easy to set up as the ones you just listed, but we've got Dogecoin, we've got Dash, Digibyte, Zcash, Pharaoh, Bitcoin Cash. We've also got USDC, USDT on Ethereum, and we've also got Ethereum as well.
Oh, okay. It's just I have a bit of Ethereum myself, but it's super slow and expensive to use or expensive to use.
I mean that's why we went down the route of Polygon, because it's so much cheaper and it's so much faster.
For sure. So if I wanted to, so what would I have to do to be able to start stacks in my Decred wallet, on my Bison wallet? Is that something that I could do if I were so inclined?
So it's completely open source. Everything that we do is open source. And so there's no reason, as long as you are a scripting language, which I believe Stacks is, there's no reason you couldn't.
Clarity code. I don't know if it's a scripting.
Yeah, language. That should be fine. So Solarities is similar to
Clarity.
Ethereum, so it should be fine. Oh, Clarity. I'm not sure.
It says it's Lisp based, but I don't know a whole lot about it. It was written with people say it's similar to Rust.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know. I'm not really so it may not be usable if it's not a script based language.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure because you can do smart contracts. I'm pretty sure you are a script based language. So I don't see that being a problem at all. But if any of the Stacks community were interested, at Bison Wallet, we'll point them in the right direction, and they can join the team and they can get the introductions that they need. And it's very much welcome if Stacks wants to get involved and they want to build their implementation. That'd be absolutely awesome, and the guys will definitely help them do it. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Very cool. I know they got the core devs are working on a bunch of stuff right now. We actually have fast blocks coming probably within the 2 weeks. Finally, we'll have our hard fork. We'll have like 5-second blocks. And then we have a product called SBTC that's going to be launched shortly after that, where it's basically native BTC gets locked up. You get a SIP10 token, which is a token on the token standard for Stacks. And you can, utilize Bitcoin in the Stacks DeFi ecosystem with SBTC. And that's also going to be cross-chain. Right now they already have deals in the works or production. They're working on the technical side with Aptos and Solana to be able to take SBTC. So that's so it's interesting that they can. I would love for Bison Wallet to be able to support Stacks and for Stacks to be able to support Bison Wallet. There's always, or even just to get the guys to talk, and hey, you guys are doing this. Oh, I never thought of that. We might be able to implement that idea in our system too. It's not even always just about maybe they don't line up for use, but more conversations, right? And getting more people engaged. But I think it's really cool what you're doing. I believe in the ethos of low cost peer-to-peer, secure peer-to-peer transactions, right? That's the fundamental use case and why what it's designed for Bison Wallet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the atomic swap stuff is absolutely amazing. The tech behind it is pretty impressive, actually. Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of give me the short. There might be a long and a short version explaining atomic swaps. Give me a shortened version of what atomic swaps are and how that's used.
Yeah. So the atomic swap
doesn't have to be too short.
Yeah, it's basically just a contract and it has a time locked element in it. So it basically says, you and I want to change coins. I want to own some stacks. You want to own some Decred. So you're basically you're going to send your stacks from your stack wallet to my stack wallet, and I'm going to send my Decred to your Decred wallet. And the contract in between basically says, okay, well, we're gonna time lock this first. So it's going to be done in two parts. So the first part is the opening of the contract, which has some secrets involved. So if you're the maker, you'll send me your contract first. You'll send me your secret first. That'll take two confirmations for it to kind of to be on chain and make sure it's settled correctly and that the coins are there. Then I'll send you my secret, both of which we actually can't see yet. Then it will take, I don't know, however many block confirmation stacks needs. And then once it hits that immutable stage, then the redemption contract hits us at the same time. So once we're both confident that, or once the contract is confident that you have your coins and I have mine and we're ready to swap, it then basically says, okay, here's the secret. And it sends the secret out at exactly the same time, and we both get to redeem exactly the same time. Now, if for some reason one of those first parts, the opening of the contract doesn't go so well, everything fails. The secret doesn't get opened because the next part of the confirmation, the opening of the secret doesn't happen because the requirements haven't been met. And that's all done on chain. But that's the long and short of it. Hopefully that wasn't too complex.
No, I think it makes sense. I think that I understand what you mean now by atomic swaps, so that helps. You said one of the things you said was about you're not sure how many blocks it takes for stacks to be confirmed, and I don't think it's any number of confirmations necessarily. I've never heard anyone refer to a number of confirmations. There are post conditions.
You probably need at least one. You're
right.
Every blockchain needs probably
there's one block.
Right.
There's a block. There is a block. So there's a stacks block, and then they also get written to the Bitcoin block, but eventually the stacks blocks will be like obviously not in line with the Bitcoin blockchain blocks. So I think it's technically two confirmations because it's blocks on both chain or two chains.
That's about right. I mean, on Decred it's like 2. On Litecoin, I think it's 3. On Bitcoin, I think it's normally 2. And you just need a certain amount of confirmation just to say those coins exist and this contract is happening. If you try to do it with zero proof or zero conf, it does open up for a few issues. So if there was a deep reorg, you'd pretty much lose your funds. So that's why you wait for the confirmations.
Right. That makes sense. I just never had I've never come across anyone telling me how many confirmations you need for stacks transactions. I've seen that a lot in Bitcoin because, I do ordinals purchases and stuff like that. And, you see the transactions sometimes, depending on the wallet you're using, you might see the ordinals in your wallet before they actually complete the transaction. So you can't see them on Magic Eden, but you can see them in your Unisat wallet. Some interesting use of tech there too, right? The information's on chain, so they can put the picture even though it's not confirmed yet. But I'm not aware. That's something I'm gonna have to ask around about. Yeah. Do we have a certain number of confirmations or?
Yeah. Most wallets will kind of, if you trade money, if you trade from one coin, Bitcoin from one wallet to another, it will pretty much show up the minute it hits the mempool. But yeah, in order to kind of guarantee that it's turning up, before you can move it again, it normally just takes a couple of confirmations. But yeah, I'm not sure about stacks, unless you've got some kind of finite system, which basically, is it proof? No, it's not proof of stake, is it? Because you actually verify on
it's itself. No. It's a hybrid mechanism called proof of transfer. So it has to do with having proved that you transferred Bitcoin into a certain wallet. That's Mrs. P's love on her lunch break. She hates being on live shows.
Yeah, she's all part of the yeah.
So, but yeah, very interesting kind of getting off the topic here, and that's what I do, and I apologize.
No, it's
But
not a
I
problem.
really, I love the conversation. I really think that I like what I'm hearing about Decred. It already come very highly recommended by Nick from Bitcoin Live, who is a good friend of mine. And again, shout out to Bitcoin Live for giving us this platform for being able to have these conversations and grow our community and grow the integration of our community so that we're getting to know each other. You know, we're here in this space, but now I know you and you know me and you know more about Stacks and I know more about Decred and Bison Wallet. And it's all because of Nick's work from Bitcoin Live. So thank you,
Yeah.
Nick.
One thing I would say to yourself and the community, if you do want to try out Bison Wallet, we do have some funds at the moment that we can send, only like $5 or whatever, but we can send you a little bit of Decred, we can send you a little bit of Matic, so you can actually try it out for yourself. And this isn't me giving a big pitch, but more often than not, people want to try this stuff out. So if that is something that interests you guys, what we ask is that you load up Bison Wallet first, and then on either my account or Exodus USD, you send us a screenshot of your receive address and the actual receive address itself, and then what we'll do is we'll send you over just a few dollars, just so you make your first trade. You can pay the bond, the fidelity bond, which is a refundable bond, by the way. It's not us inserting ourselves in the middle. It is completely refundable.
So explain that
allows you
part
to
to
try.
me.
The
Explain
fidelity,
that. Yeah.
with the fidelity bond is something that allow you. It's $1. It costs 0.1 Decred, and what you do is you lock up $1 for I think it's 30 days. And if you decide to leave the platform, you can unlock it and it comes straight back to you. And the reason for us having a fidelity bond is that if you come to our system and you start acting maliciously, for instance, if you put up a whole bunch of trades and make somebody else buy into those trades, what happens is they get a fee, they get a blockchain fee when they start trying to sell. But then if you cancel that midway, so you don't pay your fee, that's a way of kind of deterring that behavior. And on atomic swaps, that's literally the attack vector at the minute, where somebody can.
It's an anti-spam feature.
Yeah, it's just so people can't snipe, actually make people waste money unnecessarily. If you are the first person to kind of open the contract, and that's normally the taker that does that, and then the maker pulls out before their secret goes through. I know it'll cost you about half a cent or whatever, but it's just annoying. And that's what the fidelity bond is. And if you do too many of that, your reputation goes down. And then if your reputation goes down too much, you actually won't get your fidelity bond back.
Totally understandable. And I appreciate why you would actually offer a little bit of a it's also fun when somebody's posting a screenshot on your social and you're sending them some money and they're getting it's a little bit of social engagement, it's a little bit of some marketing there, some branding. So happy to kind of play around with that part of it too. Always take a couple of free dollars to try.
Yeah, and it also gives you guys a chance to try the platform with zero down. And there's nothing worse than installing a platform, putting $100 on it, and then it not working. Whereas at least this way, you can try it, you can see if it's for you, and it's not cost you a thing.
That sounds very reasonable and fair, and I'm going to take you up on that. People may not have noticed we have the QR code up. That's where they can go to download the Bison wallet. Is it only it's a downloadable program on your computer? Is it only for laptop, desktop, or is it also is there a mobile functionality right now?
Because of the way it works, because you have to be online, at the moment it's better if you do it on desktop. So it is available for Linux, it's available for Windows, and it's available for Macs. So in future, you'll also be able to get it on Umbrel. So version 1 is on Umbrel. Sorry, version 0.6 on Umbrel, but version 1 should be on Umbrel fairly shortly. And what Umbrel allows you to do is you can actually get on your mobile phone or your iPad, and you can actually link into your own server. And it's a way of keeping Bison Wallet open. I don't. Are you familiar with Umbrel?
No.
It's basically a home server where, rather than having a cloud platform like Apple or Google, you actually store all your photos and you store everything on there on this Umbrel server, which you have at home. And you can actually put your Bitcoin node on there or your Bitcoin wallets and whatever. But it's just a really nice way, because it's all peer-to-peer, and because it needs to be running whilst you've got orders. It's just a nice way of being able to have that discreetly tucked away somewhere, and then on any device you like, you can actually access your wallet. And it's quite a nice way of doing that.
So using Umbrel, I could also make a home server for like file storage.
Yeah,
So if I want to, so if I'm doing a ton of video editing, if suddenly I all of a sudden did something and changed the way what I was doing on my regular day to day, and I was handling a ton of video files all the time, like I am now, it might make sense to do something like that. For me. So now it's something else I have to look into.
Yeah, Umbrel's pretty cool actually, and it depends what hardware you can buy their hardware, or it's an open source project, so you can install it on your own hardware. But yeah, you can set up with terabytes of data if you want, and you can literally access it however you want to. Really, it's pretty cool, and it acts like Google Drive or Apple Cloud, whatever it's called.
GPSC says hello. He's a good friend of ours. Really great dude. He actually joined me on my show, the morning show this morning. And
I think I saw that.
Jose Trejo says hello. I think he's yeah. He's in the Bitcoin Live community. Hello, Jose.
Jose's great.
Yeah, he's been doing a new show on Bitcoin Live, I think, and it's been really good stuff.
Oh, cool.
Or maybe
we had a conversation.
He's really good dude. Been seeing him in some of the chats and stuff too. But yeah, man, I think this is great stuff. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's a little bit past the hour, and fortunately I don't have a spaces I have to host today. But in real life, I'm actually a realtor, and I do have to go show a house. So hopefully I'm going to make a little money today and get a house sold. But Phoenix, this has been great. I'm so we will have to do this again sometime soon. I'm so grateful for you coming out and joining me today. I really thought this was a great conversation. Happy to have had a chance to really meet you. Any last words? Anything else we should know about?
I mean, there's plenty, but just to kind of close up and just say, thank you so much for having us on. And if your audience is interested in using Bison Wallet, giving it a try, obviously just give us a shout. That's at Decred Society. But no, I love the work you're doing. Keep it up. Your energy is amazing, and I really appreciate that. And the Stacks community seems pretty active and pretty awesome, actually. So looking forward to getting involved in that.
I try. They reflect very much similarly to what I put out there as well. It's and thank you, man. You also have a great personality. You've been super patient with some of my less technical, knowledgeable questions. So, and super great at explaining stuff. So I really, I'm looking forward to seeing more from Bison Wallet and supporting you guys and having more conversations about this. And thank you for the kind words. We're doing a lot here to try to, this is not just Stacks focused, by the way. My goal is to spotlight projects building and developing in the Bitcoin and broader crypto ecosystem. And I feel Decred is obviously a part of that ecosystem. Bison Wallet is a part of that as well. And I'm super excited to see what you guys come up with down the line. And I'm definitely going to, so it's Decred at Decred Society is your X handle, and people can reach out to you on X for more information. They can also scan the QR code right at the top of the screen right now. That'll bring them to a chance. And if they download the wallet and send you a screenshot of the receive address, you'll send
Yeah.
them a couple
So
of
if you,
a couple dollars in Decred so they can try it out.
yeah. Also just write the address as well, just so I can quickly copy and paste it in. But yeah,
All
absolutely.
right.
If anyone
So
wants to give
send a
it,
screenshot and a copy and paste of the wallet address to make your life easier. So you're not trying to
yeah.
type out a string, sending it to the wrong wallet. You'll never know.
Yeah. But no, I'm happy to. If anyone wants to try it, absolutely, it'd be absolutely amazing. And yeah, we should definitely do this again soon. It's been great talking to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining us. You have a great day. And another great show in the books. We got great content coming at you all the time from all sorts of different directions on DeOrganized and in partnership with our good friends at Bitcoin Live. Thank you, Phoenix Green. You guys all check out Decred and the Bison wallet. And we'll be in touch soon. We'll see you all again soon. Take care.